Okay, there we go. All right, so thank you all for coming. Let me just go ahead and pull this up here and bring up my notes because Victoria is not at this meeting, but it's okay. All right, so I officially call this meeting to order at 5:06 p.m. March 23rd, Friday. And with that, we can go ahead and move into the agenda. But actually, before that, let me go ahead and take attendance. So amend, if you happen to show up, are you here? All right, Caduceus Club,
We're here.
InterVarsity, Christian Fellowship,
Yes, here.
okay. Third Wave,
Here, sorry.
it's okay. And our President of Business Affairs, Michael, if you happen to show up, if you can state that you're here. All right, Michael is not here yet, but that's okay. We still have quorum, and we established that. So with that, if you can all go ahead and just take a look at the agenda, it's really simple, just a one-pager here. I just put in a discussion item, although I don't think we're going to really have much discussion about it. It's more just to clarify, since this is our first round, just about any concerns you had about the process. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a short and sweet agenda, so we'll get through this pretty quickly today, I guess. With that, I would like to go ahead and now entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for March 26th funding meeting. Do I have a first?
Motion.
Okay, so that was InterVarsity Christian Fellowship who first?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
Third Wave seconds.
All right. And are there any opposed to that motion?
I think me, because I don't see SHIP in the agenda at all, and I submitted all my documents.
So Gabriella, your club is not a part of the committee, so it doesn't vote. Only the committee members today here are allowed to vote and participate in the items. You're here, you're allowed to be here just to only watch the process. So hopefully that clears things up.
Okay.
Yeah. But any committee members or people that are on the attendance sheet here, are there any oppositions? Any abstentions to adopting our agenda? All right, thank you. Passes unanimously. Okay, next is approval of our minutes from the previous meeting. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Really, it was just a short meeting. So there we go. March 5th, we talked about procedures. I pretty much reviewed how it is on the back end of Landslide for those of you who are on the committee and are looking at the requests. But yeah, if there are no questions or concerns about that, I would like to then now entertain a motion to adopt our minutes from the previous meeting, March 5th, 2021.
Caduceus will first.
I'm sorry, my keyboard is loud, so it's a little bit hard to hear. Well, who is that?
Caduceus will first.
Okay. Do I have a second on that motion?
InterVarsity seconds.
Okay. All right, are there any opposed to that who are part of the committee? Any abstentions to that? Okay, all right, thank you, motion passes. So next is the discussion item, which is the funding procedures. So are there any kind of hiccups that any of you who are part of the committee that you ran into with Lancerlife or reviewing or anything like that? I just want to know, because I know sometimes, you know, Lancerlife can be a little bit janky or anything like that. Nope, yes?
Good on my end.
Okay. All right, that sounds cool then. I just want to go over something really quick here. I know we all probably seen this document already, which is the funding procedures with the how-to. Let me go ahead and pull that up here so you can see it. Probably should have had it ready, but I apologize. Let me just go ahead and run real quick and get it. Okay. So this is what it is. And so I just want to go over it quickly because I know all of you are on a committee, so you might be approached by some club members as to like what the procedures are or what the process is. So the safe bet is to always direct them to this document here if they have any questions about how the funding process works. But just to kind of not go through everything, but just kind of to give you a brief summary, all of you on the committee and us having this meeting right now is part of this process at the very top half, which is ICC funding. So again, they have to, fill out, they have to fill out an ARF on Lancer Life. They have to complete a funding request form, which we are reviewing, and then they get their money. And so a lot of clubs are a little bit confused about the difference between that and TNA. When we say you can't buy gift cards and you can't buy prizes, you can't buy that through ICC, but you can buy it through TNA. And again, that bypasses everything at the top, right? So just make sure that if they're needing money from that source, that you direct them to TNA. They're more than welcome to apply for ICC funding and they have every right to do so, but they just can't do it for stuff like prizes or gifts or something like that. Okay.
Would you be able to put the link to that in the chat?
Yeah, let me go ahead and copy.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for those of you who are here and are not part of the committee, this is definitely a helpful resource to have too. I think I sent it out on Monday's email, but I will send it out again on this week's email, and I'll just keep badgering you with it. So you have that information there. And that document is important because it has all the links to the stuff that you need to fill out. Even after you're done being approved for ICC funding, like you need to fill out a requisition. You need a W-2 in some instances. So that document has links and embedded hyperlinks to all those resources. So, okay. Hi, Faison, no worries. I'll just mark you as late but present. So, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, I had traffic coming up.
No, it's cool. No, you have your priorities. I get it. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it here. Hopefully Michael can join us too, but there we go. I just went over funding procedures and we did like approval of agenda and approval of minutes. So we didn't go over anything super important yet. Okay, so our last item here is approval of ICC funding. And so today we have two requests on the table. First is who wants to go ahead and have their Revolutionary Mahiris, I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, event. For those of you, for the public, I'll go ahead and show this now. This is their event page, expected attendance of 50, their event description, and their total is $500 for an honorarium for a speaker, Sisita Yuri, who will be there at their event. But with that, I know we had some comments down here today. Everything looks good to Taylor. Jasmine had to resubmit a request because there was some errors with the initial PDF, but I saw that it's been corrected. Faison said good, and I see you all have a thumbs up. So are there any questions or concerns about this request? Anything, any comments? No? Okay.
No.
I mean, I appreciate you all kind of reviewing it and doing all, you're supposed to do. And I really like the comments and the system of approving, so we can just get through this quickly. Carrie, do you have any comments about this request before I move on to voting on it?
No, none.
Okay. All right. I don't have any either. I reviewed the request and everything looks good. So we'll go ahead and keep this as approved for now. I'll make one big motion at the end because I don't want to just do it individually. So this request is done and looked at. Next request is going to be a SHIP, and you want to attend their RLDC conference. There are a couple comments on this. Carrie, I know you had something, but before you go, anybody else have anything you want to add? Taylor Faison. Sylvia, I see you didn't have a thumbs up about this, but I don't know if you're looking at it right now and you want to add your
Yeah, I
comment.
was just gonna get it. Yeah, I just had a question if they should submit an invoice if they already paid, but I guess they could get the funding and they'll get reimbursed that way.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I mean, we're not going to deny them funding, I don't think. At least, you know, is how I would vote. But just in the future, I just hope that, and this, I talked about this during the meeting, but like, don't spend your money until it's been approved. I know it's a process and I know, you know, it's a whole thing you have to do to wait until the committee can approve it. But if you ask us first, you know, it's better. Like even if, let's say, even if your request is like for next Wednesday and then the funding committee doesn't meet until next Friday, but you talk about it to us, you know, and we say you're good, you know, it's kind of like our promise, right? That we actually looked at it already before we even meet and we approved it. It's kind of like, yeah, the committee hasn't officially met, but if we have kind of looked at it and approved it, then you're good to spend the money because, right? It's like we're rubber stamping it at that point, and our meeting is the formal version of that. Hopefully that makes sense. I just don't want people to be out of pocket money or spend money and then not get their money back. This isn't one of those cases, fortunately, but yeah, for any people that are watching, or I know Gabriella, you're here, just in the future, just please make sure to let us know. That's all.
Chris, can I say? I think that now that I'm remembering this submission, I think that was one of my concerns was the fact that I was wondering how are they even gonna go about it? Were they gonna invoice it? Were they going to? Because it seems like it was already paid for, correct? They spent it, and now
Right.
they're asking for it to get approved because they already paid for the retreat type thing. I assumed it would have been okay, but I think now that I remember, I think that was one of my questions.
Yeah, that's one thing. I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, they're funding a legitimate event, and I think it's going to be really beneficial to the club. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't deny them.
Exactly.
I mean, unless any of you have different thoughts, but I personally don't. The other thing too, though, with this submission, and not to kind of harp on it, but just so that if people are watching this and they know, when the persons who submitted this request said that this event is not tied to an ARF, it actually should be, because you're going to a conference as a club and your advisor is supposed to go with you, and there has to be an approval process for that. So in the future, 99% of the requests that you turn in honestly should be tied to an ARF. Jasmine's event was. I don't see why this event would be any different. But other than that, just some minor things. I mean, that it's not going to be detrimental to the approval today, but just so that people generally know.
Actually, Chris,
Yes.
because Ship is here, correct?
Yeah, they are here.
Okay, so who's Ship? I'm
Gabriella.
sorry. Who? Gabriella. Hey, Gabriella. So we missed you at ICC today. Did anyone from your club go?
I think Daphne went.
Okay, because I asked for it because I had questions about this. So I need to know, did you already purchase these tickets?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. I'm going to turn up my sound, but I don't know.
Sorry, my mic doesn't work sometimes, but yes, I did.
Okay, so what was the assumption then, and what if we decided not to pay for them? Was the assumption that, because I want you to understand what you've done is you've already bought them. Now you're coming to us and saying, now you have to reimburse me because I already bought them. You've taken the choice away from us. So my question is, what would you have done if we decided not to pay for them?
I guess that would have been wasted money.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Your mic's cut out again.
That would have been wasted money on my part. So that was my mistake. I should have thought about that.
So this is why I really want you to work with your advisors, because your advisors should have gone to the advisor training. And this is why Ship, did anyone from Ship go to the financial training workshop for ICC?
Yes.
Okay, so then if they went, so why did this happen?
We were just running out of time because the event, the deadline was the 16th and we had to pay for them.
Okay, so remember, this is March. I don't know when this conference came out, but we've been in session since February. And not to pick on you, because this is the same thing I asked. We had issues with another club, and I'm asking the same thing. I just want you to understand that basically we don't have a problem paying for it. And we probably would have paid for it without even, because we paid for your last conference without even asking anything about it. But in the future, please let your club know that if this happens in the fall, it probably won't fly. You're going to be left holding the bag. And that goes for every club. You need to ask for permission before you spend the money. Do you get what I'm saying?
That was my mistake. Sorry.
That's okay. There's so you're not the only one, Gabrielle. Let me tell you, I had this very hard conversation with another individual, the same thing that they did. So, I just really want you all to be aware that we have resources out there. Ask your advisor. And then I have another question because Antonio is also, he submitted another form. He submitted a request to Student Service Fund. Do you know if he's asking for funding to pay for this out of Student Service Fund?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, no worries. I'll just email him and ask him. But if the group is willing to fund, I am okay with that. I just wanted to make sure everyone understood what the process should be.
Okay, all right. For Gabriella, again, we don't mean to pick on you. It's just we just want to hopefully make it clear to other people too that they shouldn't spend money without at least telling us first or really talking with their advisor and having discussions about it. But that's pretty much it. Yes, this is their event budget form for those in the public that want to go ahead and see this. And this is their line item sheet, which is correct. But with that said, if there are no questions or comments, I'd like to go ahead and move this to a motion. Anything from any of the committee members here? Nope. All right. So at this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve $250 for SHIP's RLDC conference and for First Revolutionary Mahirs and $500 for First Revolutionary Mahirs event.
I'm in first.
Okay.
Caduceus will second.
All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and do a roll call vote because that's how it's supposed to be for action items. So Amend, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. Caduceus, how do you vote?
Yes.
Sylvia from InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, how do you vote?
Yes.
And Third Wave, how do you vote?
Yes.
Michael is not here, so it'll be a no vote.
He's not a no vote. He's just not there.
He's just not there. Okay, that's fine. All right. Are there any opposed? Last chance for that. Any abstentions to this motion? All right. Well, congratulations. SHIP and First are funded for their event. So that was it. All right. So future meeting dates and times. We meet every week. There's an ICC meeting, and the next one is April 9th. Same on Zoom and same time at 5 p.m. At this time, then I'd like to go ahead and move to adjournment. So I'd like to go ahead and entertain a motion now to adjourn our meeting at 5:25 p.m.
Third Wave first.
Caduceus will second.
Third Wave first, Caduceus seconds. Okay, any opposed to adjourning today? Hopefully not. Any abstentions? Okay, all right, motion passes. That was a short and sweet meeting. Let me go ahead and take us off YouTube here once the stream catches up, and you can all hang around and we can have a discussion about what happened today if you want. Give me a moment here.